So we're here with Mayor Fred Bates, Mayor of Cumberland, and it's been a few months since we last talked, Mayor Bates. And,
Yes.
You were freshly re-elected at that time, and I know you had a very positive vision for Cumberland's future at that time. And we've weathered one heck of a winter, not only in terms of the weather, but the economic downturn and so on. My query to you at this point would be, going ahead, what is your vision for Cumberland and for the Comox Valley? What do you see in your crystal ball?
I wish I had a crystal ball. Unfortunately, I think we create our own crystal balls, and I think we need to establish a real vision. And I have some visions, but I don't think that Cumberland or Comox Valley necessarily have to follow my personal vision, but I think we need to establish a vision. And I visualize that Comox Valley, and Cumberland particularly, will be not only a bustling economic center for tourism and for attracting people to the area, but we have a richness in culture and history that not many places have in our country. Canada not being very old, it's quite unique for a little village to have better than 100 years of serious culture. And I think it's important that we not only grasp that and make sure we keep it, but in fact share it and get out to the world. I think that Comox Valley is rapidly and will continue to become well known in greater circles, and that circle keeps expanding beyond Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada, and even foreign countries. We have what people want. We have a number of people from the prairies and the lower mainland hoping to move to this area. That has not diminished that desire, even with the economic downturn. It's slowed down, not because they don't want to come here, but because they have difficulty selling their homes where they are. And that will slow it down. But there's great demands. And I always like people to remember that with the Earth's population expanding, as I'm told, by 250,000 every 24 hours, those people have to live somewhere. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at the map and see where the blank spaces are on this planet. And Canada has a huge potential for receiving people from around the globe. And I'd like to think I do think we're open to all cultures becoming part of the mosaic of what makes this country. Having said that, that means Comox Valley has to do its part and understand there's going to be more people here. And rather than us look at that as a burden, as some do, it's an opportunity, and it's an opportunity to maintain health systems and pension systems for future generations, which are going to be strained if we stay as we are. With Canadian families averaging one child per family, again, I don't have to be a rocket scientist to think that in 5 generations there won't be any Canadians as we know them today. We will gradually disappear, like amoebas in reverse. And so we need an increased population. And that's a pretty simple balance. If we need the population and some populations need a place to go, Canada's a logical place. Now we have an opportunity, I think, before this happens in great numbers, for us to plan how we're going to handle that increase. On a smaller scale in Comox Valley, but nevertheless there will be an issue for us to deal with. And rather than just hope it goes away, we need to not only welcome it, but plan for it. Where do we want to put high density population? How do we want to accomplish that without intruding on our environmentally sensitive sites and heritage sites, and maintain the lifestyle we've got and introduce it to others rather than have them come and change it? And I think those are all important things. I see Comox Valley, and I'm very pleased to see Comox Valley working together as a valley now. The municipalities, the rural areas, we're all on the same page as far as trying to establish a cooperative, lucrative Comox Valley and a good place to live. Doesn't mean we all agree on every issue, but at least we're working together to try and come to some common goals. I think there are some things we can accomplish as a valley once we drop the fear that there's one place trying to take us over, as it were, and instead we become partners in this valley. Once we get rid of that fear, we can have some cooperation on some sensible fronts, working together on recreation, working together on the provision of some of the basic services like water, etc., which we've been asked to do by the province anyway in that case. But it makes good sense to think if we're going to have very expensive water treatment plans going forward, which we are, as you know, the federal government and the VIHA are indicating that that's the future, then let's not spend money on 8 such systems in the valley if we can have 1 or 2. So those discussions are happening as we speak. And I'm sure there's other areas of cooperation that we can work towards that will benefit the taxpayers of the valley. And I'm pleased to see that kind of discussion happening. Reaching outside what we need to maintain the future of the valley going forward. Now, in addition to tourism, we need a base or a number of base industries that fit our OCP, not only Cumberland's but the valleys, which is to hope for non-invasive, environmentally friendly industries like electronics. And a lot of doubtful people thought, why would we attract people like Microsoft to Comox Valley? And I suggest to you, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have industries like that who have professionals, high-paid professionals, who would like to have the lifestyle we have here? So I think it's very attractive. A lot of these industries that are non-invasive to the environment and air quality and sound and noise, etc. These people are looking for a break away from the monotony of some of their jobs, whether it's a research center or whatever. And Comox Valley provides that recreation and that view, that lifestyle. So I think there's a huge opportunity. Hence why we go forward with things like our relationships with China and Japan. And albeit politically they're one and the same, Taiwan and China have dealt in 2 different ways with us. We did make commitments with our sister city in China when we became sister cities that we would work towards greater sharing of information and concepts and ideas and investment opportunities between the 2 cities. Not only Cumberland and Putien, but the regional district in Putien took the first step of forming a memorandum. So when we made that commitment, we understood that meant visiting each other from time to time and not becoming, as was aptly put by a Chinese mayor, paper sisters. We're not interested in just doing a nice little ceremony and putting a paper on the wall and saying, there, we've done it.